The teachers you know at Big Spring were not always teachers. They took many different paths to get to where they are today. Hello everyone, I'm Austin Bryner here with the Channel 3 News, and I'm here to show you what teachers did before they worked here at Big Spring. Mr. Berry has had many different jobs before becoming a teacher, like a lifeguard, busboy, and a waiter. He has also had 2 other jobs that I found very interesting.
Equals to 97x plus 20.
And then after that,
Yeah, divide by 5.
yeah, you gotta divide everything by 5. Very good. I also had a job not connected to Hershey or Hershey Park with Hershey Ice Creamery, which is down on 2nd Street in Harrisburg. Now, a nice story about that one is at one point we were filling these large jugs of ice cream, and it was coffee flavored. And I remember it was coffee flavored because I hate coffee. And a guy that I was working with and myself had dropped accidentally like about 60 of these large 2-gallon jugs of ice cream. So we had to spend all of this time cleaning up this coffee ice cream, which was slowly freezing on the floor because I was in a cooler. Other than that, a really fun one that people don't know about is that in college and in high school, but in college I did a lot of stuff with my media. So I was a part of the school newspaper and school radio station and school TV station, and I had some connections of friends where I actually worked twice on 2 separate occasions for ESPN.
Mrs. Velasquez has always been a person who has taught. She started tutoring in the 10th grade and later at Mission Quest for 49 months at an impact camp. But there was one story that I really found interesting.
Angle of elevation, so 50 degrees, and we are standing from 35 feet from the tree. From always goes on the bottom.
I taught for 49 months in juvenile lockup, and I like to tell people that I met my husband in juvenile lockup and then changed the subject. And about 3 sentences later, it hits them, and they realize what I said, and they all suddenly go, "What? Huh? What?" They think he was one of the youth assigned, and he was not. He was one of the male staff there.
After college, Miss Herondine had several jobs she did before teaching, like working as a technician in influenza vaccine production and a paper scientist. But there was one job that she did that I believe to be very interesting.
That is on your Google Classroom page, and you're going to complete 2 of the items on the front of the page and the construct a response on the back of the page. Make sure that gets turned in to me either today or tomorrow.
I got into massage therapy and I became a licensed massage therapist, and I opened up a business doing that. I loved being in food production. It was a really amazing job. I learned so much about science, about lab work, but it was very stressful and it was far away from where I lived. So I wanted to change. And then I got into paper science, which is very interesting, but it wasn't really for me. And while I was there, I started going to massage therapy school at night, and I loved it. And so I began a business, which I loved. I worked on people with chronic pain and cancer, serious injuries. And I also began teaching at that time, and that's when I really fell in love with teaching, and I decided to go back and get my master's in teaching.
This has been Austin Bryner with your Channel 3 News.